Hello and welcome back to Fans React. We're doing another FanCast eventually. It's been a while. This is episode 15, but we're on episode 15, and we're doing it live for a change. We thought we'd give this a chance, and we've got a guinea pig. Graeme, Wright, welcome on to FanCast, mate. How are you doing?
Hi, Paul. I'm all good, thanks, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I've got a few Guinness. I know you've got work tomorrow, you were saying, so I'm drinking on my own.
Yeah, indeed you are. Hang on. Yeah. I need to forget the cameras up here. Yes, I'm fully loaded with a litre of water. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And you were showing us your sunburn as well. You've been out there.
Yeah, first day out playing golf yesterday. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but I'm a bit red stroke brownish.
Yeah.
We'll get over it. Old men and hats don't really work.
Nah. But at least we're getting out and we're able to do things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely spot on.
We're on the road to recovery, apparently. How are you feeling about that?
The biggest thing yesterday was when the season ticket renewal come through.
Yeah.
I was absolutely buzzing for it. I used to sit, not last season before, I used to sit in the East Stand and I go with some other guys who I've met through football and whatnot. And they sat in the South Stand and, any case, we've managed to get seats together for next season. So all three of us are together next season, which is going to be tremendous. I just hope that we're in a position that everybody can get in.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, definitely. Our Colin, who comes on regular, he's got a season ticket, but it's not worth me having one. Being down here and with work and stuff like that. But I really do hope one year, once my kids are a bit older and I can maybe get out and do so many weekends and stuff like that, I'll have one. Cause
we'll make it our first priority to have a day trip out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Beers, football. We'll sort that out.
You can't have football without beers, I don't think so.
No, you most certainly cannot. You most certainly cannot.
A lot of these younger lads, they don't even have a drink these days. I'm like, what? I don't understand it.
No. Matthew and Dan, they sit on these streams drinking water because I think it's good for them. Do not realize that lager and everyone else has got water in it as well.
Well, it's full of vitamins and minerals. I think it lubricates the arteries, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely right.
We've got our Colin in here, actually, my big brother, a good friend of the show.
Hello, Colin. All right, Mara.
And we've got
good bloke, Colin. I always like being on with Colin, man. He's always a giggle.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good lad. We've got Acacia in here, Joanne punching the usual.
Hi, Acacia, hi, Joanne.
Carl,
hi, Carl. AJJ.
AJJ is here.
Comments a lot. Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, on the platform. Right, is Graeme. Keep him on track with plenty banter. Let's hope it doesn't get too much and he comes off the rails and goes for full steam ahead.
Even managing to get a work-related joke in as well.
Exactly. There you go. Well, we've got a few people in watching as well, so we'll crack on. We've got a few questions. You've probably seen these before, but we'll start with basically you were one of the originals that started when the channel opened, giving us your predictions and reactions to the games and that. Can I just ask what made you actually get involved with the channel in the first place?
I got to be honest, I seen it on Twitter and I was like, do you know what? It might be a bit different, it might be something a bit different. So, and I got to be honest with you, I thought, do you know what? I might do a couple and then that'll be it, right? But then it become like addictive, especially with the fact that everybody was sitting in their house watching the games on streams through the football club or whatever method they chose to watch it, and it kind of become addictive, So I found myself sitting watching the football, taking notes like a bloody journalist would, So I could create these videos, and then you go from the videos after the game, where at some point you said, "Do you know what? Let's do it live, and we'll get people in." And then we started with the pre-match stuff, and then from the pre-match we ended up with Sean doing the live stream during the game, the watch along, and then there was the post game as well. And it's literally gone from being excuse what I'm about to say, Paul, because I don't mean this. Right?
Yeah, no.
From being like completely basic to being like a full-on match day operation.
Yeah,
it's incredible. It really is. So much so that my other half literally has no interest in football whatsoever. Right, but she even watches out for the results, knows where Sunderland are in the league and everything, because she knows that I do all this kind of stuff. And it's like, really, It's something else, man. It really is. It really is something else.
No, that's good. And as long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing. Because we've got a good set of lads. I think we've got a great team. We've got WhatsApp group, Twitter group. We all have a bit of banter. Even
absolutely. It's worked out. It's worked out really well. And there's like a wide variety of people in it. There's a few of us at the beginning, like I think about 4 or 5 of us at the beginning. And now, I mean, that WhatsApp group was certainly paying double figures now. And the Twitter group. It's massive as well, so it's taken off really well, and you're up to, we're just a kick in the arse. We might have beaten it now, but we're just a kick in the arse off 750 subscribers, and you get, I mean, Christ Almighty, as far as I can tell at the minute, there's over 20 people watching this, Who'd have ever thought? There was some of the videos we did way back at the beginning that didn't even get 20 people watching it, and we all put effort in, and like nobody watched it, but now, as I say, 23 people watching now. Like literally. Listen, this isn't trumpet blown by any means, but like from zero to hero in the space of like 3/4 of a season.
Yeah, it is. I'm over the moon with it. I mean, even though it's
incredible.
It's just 20 odd people watching, but the good thing with doing it live, I think, is because a lot of people can't watch them live. I mean, when normally we just upload it, people can watch it whenever they want. At least this way, they can still do that. But they can also get involved and ask some questions. So if you do have a question for Graeme, and it's nothing taxing and it's nothing rude, then we'll ask it. So just drop it in there. I do have some questions from people as well, which we'll try and squeeze in later on. We've
just lost me bloody running order. Never mind. Sorry. I had the running order in the picture, the text you sent me. I had the running order and I've now bloody lost it. Anyway, we'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine, mate. We've got Liam asking how long this is on for. They usually go anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour. Just depends.
If Liam's ever known me talking, I do talk quite a bit. I can bore the hind legs of a donkey. But if there's footy on the knee, we'll try and keep it brief.
Yeah. We'll be fine. If not, just get your mattress out and just
that's right.
Just watch it. Matt JK been over in the content recently, lads. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that. Great lads and lasses on it. Right. We'll go. Basically, this is the first question of the actual fan cast. What made you want to support them? Was it a childhood thing? Your dad support them, or
no?
What's the story there?
Nah. Growing up, I wasn't really into football. Me mother, father, rest of the family were all kind of black and white. And I really wasn't bothered. I went to a couple of games, just watching anybody really when I was at school, just to kind of fit in. And then I left school, like no real interest in football. I played rugby union more than anything else. Went off to university, still not really any football and allegiance. I continued to play rugby union. Left university, hated it, got a job, and I got together with a lass, and her father supported Sunderland. He was quite big. He was quite big in football, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s kind of thing. He was a maths teacher in a school in Kent and Newcastle. He was head of a maths, etc. But the other thing he did was PE, and he scouted for various clubs. And I don't want to blow his trumpet because he's not here to tell the story himself, but he was one of the people who went door knocking in Chester Street all them years ago to make sure that Colin Todd signed for Sunderland and not for Middlesbrough. That's a whole other story. Oh. And he said to me, we could, lifelong Sunderland fan, we could kind of go and watch Sunderland if you want. And it kind of got put onto a back burner. And I didn't really start watching football really until about 2000 and season 2001. And in fact, I think it was actually towards the end of that season we played Leicester at home, beat them 2-0, and Claudio Reyna got both the goals. And that was kind of my first game. And then the next season 2002-2003, was I got my first season ticket.
Yeah.
On the back of staying in the Premier League, but I think the question's a bit further on. The questions a bit further on might tell a bit of a woeful story.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll get into that. We have a couple of questions already coming through. Matt, I'll ask yours later on because we want to talk a bit more about the current players a bit later on. But David Bell asked, as there's a couple of oldies on tonight, the cheeky bugger. Marco Gabardini or Super Kevin. Obviously, Marco Gabardini would have been, if you didn't start watching until 2001.
Marco Gabardini was before me, but I'd probably do a bit talking about Super Kev a bit later on as well.
Yeah.
But for me, it would have to be Super Kev.
Yeah.
Because Gabardini is a bit before my time, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of people would pick Super Kev even if they were around in the Gabardini area. But yeah, we'll go to that later on. Number 2 on the FanCast there. What's your first, worst, and best moments being a Sunderland fan?
I think the first one I've kind of already answered. First game, Leicester at home. I think that must have been maybe March or April 2002. We beat Leicester City 2-1, I think, and if I remember rightly, Claudio Reyna got both the goals. Yeah. Worst moments was actually the following season. It was my first year of having a season ticket. Quite low down in the north stand, just behind the goal. Row 9 we were in. 2002-2003 season. First game of that, lost at home to Everton. And it just went from bad to worse throughout that season, if I'm honest. Couple of months into the season, Peter Reid got sacked after getting beat at Arsenal. And we got relegated with 19 points. Oh, God, yeah. So that's when my love-hate relationship with Sunderland Football Club started. Yeah. Would you say that's so that moment there is worse than... probably the low point for me. Worse than what? Well, I was going to say worse than the championship season, which was another... so when we got two. Obviously, I know some of the questions that are coming. Yeah. And actually, probably, if it's not that, you've got to look at the season where Grayson was in charge and Grayson took over. Grayson left and Coleman come in, and that would shite, really shite. But 2003 for me, being a fan for 1 year, and then having your team relegated straight away, and you think, well, what a fucking start this is. Sorry. No, that's fine. It's fine. What a start out to being a Sunderland fan this is, Yeah, so it's all your fault, then, really, isn't it? It's your fault that this has happened. I reckon so. Listen, I was prepared for this to come up. All of this is my fault. But yeah, that season with Grayson. I mean, Grayson, honestly, I've seen wet blankets with more enthusiasm than that bloke. I honestly think if Coleman had been in earlier, and I know a lot of people say, he was crap or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think he was. But I just think he got handed a really raw deal, having the crap that Grayson brought in. And listen, we can't change it now. It is what it is. No, exactly. So, did you give us your best moment as well? Was that? I'm probably going to say the two occasions at Wembley, Man City. Man City at Wembley with Barini's goal. Barini's goal, we went chuffing mental. Sorry, I'm trying to be good and not swear. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Went, the whole place went absolutely bananas, and it was incredible. And at that point, that cup was ours. For those minutes of that game, that cup was ours. No matter what happened, Barini had done the business. And then, do you know what? Even with the disappointment of the checker trade, with us going, 1-0 up, with that McGeady free kick, to then it going extra time, penalties, and just the atmosphere, the experience was just something I'll never ever forget. Yeah. So yeah, they're probably my best moments, if I'm honest. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I was at the checker trade as well with my brother, and just because I don't get to see him very often, that made it special just on its own, just doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I never realised I wouldn't get to many games after that, but there you go. Geordie, boys in here, all right, lads? How you doing, mate?
One Rovers Vlogs. That's fantastic.
Evening, Charlie.
He's in the room. And we've got Matty. He's just said, being a Sunderland fan for a long time, a little bit away, very much thinking of getting a season card. Would depend fully on what happens with travel and other things that have to be considered.
Matt, just to put some perspective on that, I stopped being a season ticket holder when I first moved to London, which was about 11 years ago, and I got one back 4 seasons ago. Now I live in Bedfordshire now, which it's about 2.5 hours by train to Sunderland, and then of course 2.5 hours back again. And I do that like week in, week out without fail. I sometimes miss a midweek game just for the logistics of getting home and whatnot. But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
You know, depend on your own circumstance. Like I wouldn't have it any other way.
Do you have a direct train straight to Sunderland as well? Or
no, I go from mine to Peterborough and then Peterborough to Newcastle, or sometimes Durham. And there's a mate of mine picks me up in a cab and takes me over to Sunderland. Or I get the train to Newcastle, have a couple of beers in Newcastle, and then go through.
Yeah, definitely. So when you do get the match, this isn't this isn't on the questions, but I do ask this one: do you have a ritual, or do you have like a sort of routine that you go through? I've said before, it's B is burger match, and then B is again every time.
I'm a big advocate of eating's cheating. So and I always say to myself on the train that I'm not going to have a beer until I get to Newcastle. And then what happens is I'll see somebody that I know, right? And then it'll be drink. And I always promise myself that by the time I get home, I'll not be drunk. I'm like, no. So what I tend to do is if I go to Newcastle, there's a bar in Newcastle that I go into religiously because the beer is first rate. And then what I'll do is I get the train through to Sunderland, and then we'll end up having a couple of pints before we go into the ground. And you're going to ask me the name of the pub, and for the life of me, it's just fucking gone clean out my head. But we have a couple of drinks in town, walk down to the ground, and generally what happens is we'll get to the ground, and one of the guys who I go to football with will go, "Do you fancy a pint?" When we get to the ground, I'll be like, because by that time you've had like 4 or 5 pints again. I need bother. So you have a pint, and you're not getting your seat till like about 10 minutes into the game. Like, oh, fuck's sake, you know.
Yeah.
But we're at our worst at away games, because away games you go into pubs that you wouldn't normally go to, and I distinctly remember, and I'm really sorry if I'm over talking this.
No, that's fine.
One I distinctly remember going to. In fact, it was the last away game that I went to because of coronavirus. It was Oxford away, and it was my birthday just before it, and a guy who I go with to the match's birthday just after it. So we're sitting drinking ale in this bar in Oxford, and it's quite a trek from where we were to the ground, and it got to like 20 to 3, and I'm like, mate, we need to get a fucking wriggle on here. And we tried coercing policemen to take us in their fucking riot vans and all sorts. It weren't happening. So we ended up getting a cab, and we got to within about, I don't know, half a mile of the ground maybe. And we said chuck this taxi driver a tenner. We said, we'll run the rest of it. Right, well, listen, I'm not a little bloke by any means. Right, I'm 6 foot 2 inches tall, and I'm about 20 stone. Right, so I don't run with ease. Right, so we get to the ground, and literally, you know, I'm sweating like a fucking glass blower's arse. And we get in the ground, and my mate, as he always does, he goes, "Do you fancy a pint?"
Yeah.
So we're just like that, and we got that far, and the whole of the fucking stand above us went mental. We scored, and the game finished 1-0.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, Colin's asking actually, how many pints would you down on match day? Say on a good one.
You make it sound like I do this all the time. Probably it depends, because sometimes I don't work on a Saturday, but I work on a Sunday.
Oh, right.
So we've got like the 12-hour rule. So I tend to, if I'm working the next day, maybe only 2 or 3 pints, because like I didn't want to lose my job for the sake of a beer.
Fair enough.
But if I'm off the Saturday and the Sunday, I don't know, maybe, and I don't want to sound like I'm a big header out, but like if you're drinking all day, maybe maybe 8, 10, maybe pints.
Yeah.
You know, again, I used to think that I'm 20 stone, and you know, I've got a lot of places to put it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, but you know, that's kind of spaced over like a whole day.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, I can't go to the match without having beers, but at the same time,
No.
it is annoying when, for me, I'm dying for a piss like during the game. Always, I'm sitting there, bladder's bursting, and I'm like, I don't want. As soon as I go, someone's going to score, and generally, it's not us.
Do you ever get that? Do you ever get that, right? Where it gets to about half an hour, right? And you think, oh God, honestly, I wish I could tie a bloody knot in it, right? But then you think to yourself, if I go now, people will think I'm just getting in the pie queue first, right? so on that basis, I'll cross my legs, cross my eyes, cross my fingers, cross anything, so it doesn't look like that I'm the fatty going to the pie queue. You know, it's murders.
I've never thought about the pie queue, but I tell you what does happen to me, which is so annoying, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only one, so I'm not going to be too embarrassed to admit this, but I could be absolutely dying, right? Desperate for a piss, right? Go down at half time, and I get the queue because obviously people everywhere, isn't it? Just crammed, and nothing wants to come out, and you just feel like a right idiot. You know,
people are going, "Hello, man." There's a queue here.
I think it's the pressure. Like I don't know if it's called. Like I think it's called shy bladder. Like where if somebody's standing right, you know, if they've got them divides, I would be fine. But because it's just a pig trough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
see what the rest of them in the queue should just do what everybody else does and just piss on the floor, because that's how it appears when you're going in there.
Oh yeah. Especially the cubicle toilets. That's just disgusting, aren't they?
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't tie your shoelaces. Honestly.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
Rotten. Absolutely rotten.
No, I do agree with that. But I think it's part of the match day experience, isn't it? Right.
Yes. Sorry, I've just nearly sprayed water all over the camera. Yes, it definitely is.
No worries. Before I go on to the next question, I've got a very important thing to do, and that's open this beer.
Open another can.
Yeah, I've got to get early. Yeah. Do you like Guinness, mate?
I do like a Guinness. Is that actually a Guinness glass you're drinking out of?
No, it's not.
All right.
I'm not that posh.
Well, sometimes, in fact, one of the last times we played it was the last time we played Peterborough away, and there was about 5 of us in the Graemes Arms in Peterborough, and we played this stupid game, and I hate playing it because I'm not that great at it. You know, in a Guinness glass where you've got the harp and then you've got the Guinness writing.
Yeah.
The idea is to take one drink out of your pint glass and have the top of the head land between the harp and the lettering, where you've only got about that far to do it, right? So you've got to be pretty bang on. And if you don't do it, you've got to neck the rest of your pint. And
is it quite a big, the initial...
It must be, I don't know, maybe yay mush, maybe, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe. But if you don't get that spot on, after about half a dozen goes, you're feeling it.
Yeah,
you're absolutely feeling it.
No,
one day, Paul, we might play that game.
No, I'd be up for that.
Let's see how we get back to Essex that night.
Yeah. The only good thing about it with it being Guinness, it's not like too gassy. I know it's heavy, but
no, that's true.
It goes down well, doesn't it?
That's why a lot of the time I do drink ale rather than drinking lager, because there's nothing worse than being fat and full of wind. Honestly.
Yeah.
If it's not coming with your gob, it's coming with your backside, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I used to work in a pub in Washington years ago, and they used to sell Stone's cream float. It was £1 a pint on a Thursday. I swear to God, it was so nice. It went down so well. I could easily, I could down one of them in about 5 seconds.
Ooh,
beautiful.
There's another game we can play.
What, down in pints?
See who can drink a pint of Guinness the fastest.
Well,
I reckon. Oh, listen, choose your own drink as long as it's not water. You know?
No, it wouldn't be water. I think I would pick Guinness, but I still think you'd beat us. I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm going way back, but Colin's saying that he just wears 10 of ladies, so obviously 10 of men.
10 of men.
10 of men. That's not a bad idea.
It's that age he's getting to, man. Tell you, honestly, it's the age.
But we're all heading there. That's the scary thing, isn't it?
That's a saddening bit. Yeah.
Chris Scott, I have this loads. I think he's talking about the same bladder problem as I have. Hanny 95, ye's fuckers are better than Guy, Gilly, and Gatey. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah.
Tune in next week for more.
I'll be asking for a weekly show from your next mind to tell you.
Absolutely.
Right, we'll move on to the next question anyway.
Yeah.
Nice, easy one, this.
Yeah.
What do you actually love, mate, about being a Sunderland fan?
Do you know, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, if you don't, that's me, wherever it is, other side, that's me there, at Red Leader Wright. Give me a follow. I promise I'm not that boring, but I work on the trains, I work on the railway for a living, and I've done it for 25 years. And in that time, I've transported football fans from a lot of the big clubs, you know, ourselves, the Mags, Borough, Leeds United, Sheffield United, Hull, Peterborough, the lot of them, right? And listen, you know, each and every one of them has a bit of a thing about them. The best experience for me and the best way that I can describe why I love being a Sunderland fan, on the weekend of the Checker Trade Trophy, I was working the Saturday, but I wasn't working the Sunday, the day of the final. And of course, I think to myself, I tell you what, I'm pleased I'm not going to Newcastle with all these Sunderland fans coming to London, right? Thinking I've got a great job. I'm off to Leeds and back, right? I'll be really quiet. So the train I work from London to Leeds, dead as a door. And I'm thinking, honestly, this is going to be a great day. I went outside at Leeds. I went to Pret a Manger to get a coffee. I went outside, had a cigarette, and I come back, right, and I've never seen so many red and white shirts and flags and crates of beer and all, man. I'm thinking, where on earth did all these come from? Right? So like, this is going to be a trip and a half, right? So I kind of like trying to make a big thing of the customer experience, and I promise I'm going somewhere with this. So all the way to London, you know, clipping tickets, having a bit of a laugh with the Sunderland fans that were on the train. And just before we got to London, as you come into London from Stevenage, the Emirates Stadium's on the left-hand side. So I made a bit of a gag about Arsenal being the Premier League's perennial underachievers, rah, rah. And by the way, if you're going to the game tomorrow, my name's Graeme. A lot of you have seen me. I'm the fat jolly one that's checked your ticket. I'll see you on Wembley Way, 1:30 for a can, and mine's a Stella, right? My Twitter went absolutely mental with people saying, mate, we'll meet you for a pint. No problem whatsoever. People get off the train, gives you your phone number, we'll meet you. We're going for a beer with you. It's like, incredible. And it's just like stuff like that, you know, like the little things of that. Like people don't even know you, right? Really know you, but we'll swap phone numbers. We'll go for a beer. The camaraderie, it is second to none. And I honestly do not believe you would get that anywhere else. You absolutely wouldn't.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, I suppose we're a bit biased, and we're always a little bit biased of your own club. Other fans would say the same thing, I suppose. But I personally don't think I agree with you. I mean, you like you say, you've dealt with fans from all over the country, so you know. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. We've got another question from Colin. What's your favourite moment since joining Fans React? Mine is the hilarious time Matthew did a close-up of you eating your dinner. Yeah. I should have took a screenshot of that, shouldn't I?
There was a naughty word popped out then and all. You know, I was honestly trying my best to be discreet about the whole thing, right? But when you're trying to shovel food into your gob, right, especially food when it's hot,
yeah.
And I didn't think for 1 minute that he would do that to me. Oh, how wrong I was.
He's caught me. He's caught me out a few times as well. I must admit.
I tell you what, it's a good job. It's a good job. I'm not one of them grown-ups that picks their nose and eats it, innit? Otherwise, you know, would have been proper done.
I've heard that's good for you. There's a professor. There's a professor in Australia says all kids do it. Like you'll notice kids, we tell them not to, tell them off, pull their hands away. It's a natural instinct for humans to do it as children. And he suggested, I'm not saying this is true, but he suggested that picking your nose and eating it, if you did it your whole life, has certain antibodies or something in it that helps to prevent cancer. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know.
It's a pity it didn't prevent coronavirus, otherwise would I be doing it? You know?
Yeah.
Pick lick no.
Them crunchy nut cornflakes on the morning, beautiful.
I tell you what, bring a whole new meaning to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've still got any viewers in here, to be honest with you. Right, so
23 watching along.
Yeah, well, we've got more because we've got people on Facebook, Twitch. That's just the YouTube thing, and this is broadcast straight to Twitter as well. And obviously, people will be watching it when they're a bit more convenient for them as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, question number 4. Favorite Sunderland player of all time and why?
I couldn't really narrow it down to one, so I narrowed it down to 3. But I have given you a favorite. I know that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe 3 or 4, if I'm honest. But like Kevin Phillips has got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know. Superb footballer. You know. Still the only Englishman to win the European Golden Boot.
Yeah.
You know. Fantastic striker. Him and Quinn. You know, we're just somewhere else, you know, but it's not him. I have to say. I also want to put on a little something about Jan and Via. He was one of them footballers who Sunderland fans really took to their heart, right? And when he left, we were all gutted, you know, like massively gutted. Incredibly talented player, you know. He literally went to the club and said, "Please sign me, right? I want to play football at Sunderland."
Yeah.
Right. And then the club, in its infinite wit and wisdom, said, I tell you what, we're not going to do that. Right. But what we're going to do is we're going to sign some French bloke that nobody's ever heard of. Right. And in the process, we're going to pay like 13, 14 million quid for him and think that's acceptable. And you're like, hang on a minute. We've got this bloke who the fans adore and is a fucking talented footballer, but we're going to turn him down. Right. Yeah. But it's still not in.
Thanks, by the way, thanks for letting me relive that moment in time. That was horrendous the first time around.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Terrible. No, it was horrible. Absolutely, it just shows you how the club's being run. To be honest,
absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
literally horrendous. Right, but it's not even in Via.
Right.
I'm going with Steve Malbronk.
Why not?
There you go. There he is, Steve Malbronk, and he's making me look better by the fact that he's hiding my face. Right? this fella who, when he come to us, was kind of, you know, didn't really have any massive credential. Come to us, how he managed to run the full length of the pitch with that football attached to his foot, and some of the stuff he did with it, how he managed to keep the ball in close contact with him, you know, didn't lose control of it. Rumor is that being typically Gallic, you know, he liked to have a cigarette and a red wine once in a while.
40 cigarettes a day, I heard. Yeah.
Oh, that was as many as that?
40 cigarettes a day, apparently. Yeah. Mental.
Right. It just like it amazes me how you know, like some of the runs he did, you know, were like how he kept control of the ball, didn't fall over, you know, nudge here, nudge there, didn't lose any of it.
Yeah.
And I think. Just think out loud. I think like players like Sessegnon, he was of the same ilk. But I'm gonna go with Steve Malbronk.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of people would choose that guy. Absolute legend. He was a fantastic player. He reminded us a little bit of something similar about him and Sessegnon for me in the style of the player. They were very sort of stuck to the ground. They could spin, drop the shoulder, spin, take the ball away from it. They terrified defenses.
Absolutely. And you just wonder, even with players of that caliber, how Sunderland ended up in the situation we're in.
Oh, I know.
You know, it's just it beggars belief at times, man. It really does.
Yeah, I think it all stems from poor ownership, but we'll not get into that just yet. John Pemberton, new to the channel. Evening, lads. Starting to watch your channel. Looks good. Cheers, John. Excellent. Loves getting new people there coming along.
Much for watching. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. We've got loads happening on match days, so come back to the channel on match days. Hours and hours. I think we've had like a 7-hour stream at one point, didn't we? So.
One bit of advice I can give you, John, is there is a thing on there. It's got subscribe in red on it. If you click the subscribe, then click the bell. It will tell you every time that we go live.
Definitely
do that. I don't always mean me, but you know.
No, if we could have them every episode, we would.
Because I'm not that much fun all the time, I promise. But you know, as a team, listen, I'm gonna, as a team, we do, there's a load of us do a fantastic job week in, week out, and I promise on that trumpet blown, we do it for now because we want you guys to be part of it as well. So get involved.
Definitely. And not only that, I do want to quickly squeeze this in while we're talking about it. Got a massive give. I don't think even Graeme knows what it is, but we've got a massive give. Massive.
Are you announcing this tonight?
We're not announcing it tonight. It'll either be tomorrow night or the night after, probably. Right. It might be tomorrow night. I'll have a word with the other lads. But it's going to be a really, really good giveaway.
Can I just say as well? And I'm going to do this partway through the stream because some people will have now been watching for 35 minutes. And if you have, thank you very much for doing that. And I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, people have been giving tenors away for whatever, McDonald's or whatever.
Joanne punching.
I'm going to do my own for Friday. We're not on Sky on Friday. So for Friday's game, if anybody wants the tenor to watch the Sunderland versus Oxford live stream, drop Paul a little DM at SAFC Fans React, and between me and Paul, we'll make sure you've got that tenner to be able to watch the game on Saturday. What
are you wanting to do this for the quiz winner, or are you just doing it for?
No, just for somebody watching tonight.
All right, excellent.
Just for somebody watching tonight, and then what we'll do is we'll pick a winner. I don't know how we'll do that. We'll pick a random number generator or something.
Yeah, no, we can do that. Yeah. In fact, just do it now. Do it while the show's on. If you want that tenner, send us a DM. I'll have a look at the end. And if we can pick somebody at random, we'll do that. Yeah. Sounds like really nice gesture, Graeme. Yeah. Thank you very much. So there you go. Right, back to the comment.
You said back to the quiz there.
I did. We've got Handy 95. He's saying Kevin Ball because he's an effing Kevin Ball.
Can I just tell you, right? I didn't want to go down the Kevin Ball route because I think a lot of people would say Kevin Ball, but I just want to tell you my own Kevin Ball story.
Right? Yeah.
It was the day after we got beat at Southend away, right?
Yeah.
And I was working the first one from King's Cross to the northeast of England, right? 8:45 it leaves on a Sunday. Walking through first class, and this bloke said to me, "Hi, mate, can upgrade me ticket?" And immediately I was like that. I thought, I recognise that voice. And I turned around, it was Kevin Ball.
Flipping
right? And listen, I've got a job to do, whether he's one of the, one of my idols or what. Got charged for his ticket, and away we go. And I come back to him, and I just said, "Kev, is there any chance of a favour? Is there any chance that I might have a selfie?"
Yeah.
But I'd left my phone. I'd left my own phone in my office, which is further back the train. I went, I'll be back in a minute. He said, I'll come with you. And we must have spent about the next, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes just talking about football. And honestly, what a lovely, lovely, down-to-earth fella. Literally, as a bloke, you couldn't want to meet a nicer fella. But let me tell you, I've got shovels for hands, right? Let me tell you, I've never had my hand shook quite as hard as when Kevin Ball shook my hand. Honestly, I thought he'd broken every single bone in my hand.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it had been worth it. It had absolutely been worth it.
Oh, yeah. I've heard somebody else has said the same thing about his handshake. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, man.
I think it might have been Matthew or somebody's mentioned it. But yeah, he was just total class. He's what a captain's all about, in my opinion. If we had somebody like him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, so yeah, back to this. Let's have a look here. We've got a few more people I want to quickly say hello to.
Can I just say, John Pemberton, Andy Reid was a great player. Looked like he should have played for a pub team, but with great ability.
Skill.
I'm not a singer of football at all, right? I can't do it. I've never been a singer of football, but I will never ever forget the song. Andy Reid plays left wing, loves McDonald's and Burger King.
Yeah, I love the songs. I don't know what it is about the songs with to do with fat players. Like I always remember. I don't know if you remember this. It's not even as well. It is a Sunderland song, I suppose. We used to sing. He's fat. He's round. He bounces off the ground. Mickey Quinn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. We've got Thane here. Hello, Thane, mate. How you doing? Hope you're having a good one. AJJ said something talking about bogeys. How many have you had on the golf course, and have you had a hole in one or come close to a hole in one?
Yesterday was the first time I played golf in about 6 months, and you could tell I was as rusty as out. Fresh aired a few shots. it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. With me having big shoulders, I can hit the ball a long way. And there's one of the holes at the club I play at where you can drive the green in one. And one of the first times I played there, I managed to drive the green in one to leave myself with about a 10-foot putt that I then 3-putted.
Oh.
So listen, it's one of them things. It's one of them things, you know. Golf, it's one of them sports that's there to try us.
Yeah. Honestly, I've only tried playing golf a couple of times with my dad, and he's quite decent at it. And it was cold, it was wet. I was hacking it. It was going on. I was going out the other fairway, coming the other direction. And when I've got somebody standing there watching us, waiting to take their tee off. Honest to God,
there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a bit of pressure. That's all.
Pathetic. I think I did it a couple of times. I was like, Dad, it's not for me. I'm going to end up dying of a heart attack. I swear to God.
Yeah.
And people think it's just a nice, relaxing sport. It's actually quite physical to do.
That's because they watch it on. That's because they watch it on telly and watch 50 of the world's best players doing it. Like they can land a ball in a sixpence where sometimes you're looking to put it in the same postcode area. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, totally get
so,
you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've had your best Sunderland player of all time. What's your current best player at Sunderland?
I think there can only be one person for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've met him a couple of times. Lovely, down to earth. Always will talk to you. And this season, and I don't think many people will disagree with me, he's covered nearly every inch of grass on that pitch, home and away. And it's got to be Look 09 for me.
Yeah,
got to be Look 09. Without a shadow of a doubt. He's honestly, he's if you pardon the expression, he's like sheep shite. He's all over the place, you know.
Yeah,
he really is. As I say, a lovely, down to earth bloke. Met him a few times. Got to be him. However, if we manage to keep hold of the service of a certain Mr. Jones, if we manage to get him from Glasgow Rangers, I do honestly think that at some point he could become a firm favourite of mine if he carries on in the vein that he's been playing in.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, I can't remember who it was. Somebody did say about him that he plays with arrogance, but good arrogance. Like he knows he should be on
confidence.
The pitch.
Confidence.
Yeah.
It's
just a shame that this has happened because we're only getting to see such a small bit of him, and what we're seeing looks really, really good. You just want to see more, don't you? So,
however, there's still 10 games left, and every game's like a cup final, right? And at some point, he's going to be back, right?
Yeah.
And if you just look at the options down there, without this turning into slating the certain Californian Messi, because I don't really want to do that. I do think that if the choice was between Gooch and Jones, you'd pick Jones week in, week out.
Yeah, I think most people would. I mean, drop a comment if you disagree with that. Would you pick Gooch over Jones? I can't see many people saying that.
I can't see many people would. Although AJJ is saying that Jones was back in training today and looked sharp.
Another one as well is Denver Hume, apparently.
Denver Hume's
he's supposed to be right on the tube.
I can remember, like last season, everybody said, "Oh, that fucking Denver Hume, how a man, pull yourself together, come on, get him off." Now we can't wait for them to come back.
We
cannot wait for him to
that's only because of McFadden. I mean,
but McFadden's getting better.
He is getting better.
He's not amazing by any means.
Yeah.
But he's getting better.
He is definitely getting better. I tell you who else is also getting better, because he's always getting better, and that's Matthew Lead. What a legend.
Matthew Lead. Football. How many times he put that ball over them little goals of his today?
I thought you were saying little balls. Something. I don't know.
No, little goals with his left side. No, that's not getting any better.
Yeah, definitely. Theo Safk also just wanted to say you lads are doing a fantastic job with the channel. I know I haven't been around as much lately, but I'm really happy to see the channel grow as quick as it has. Theo, honestly, you're welcome on this channel whenever you're. He's one of the originals. To be honest with you, because I don't have your contact details, it's just Skype. I keep forgetting to send you the link for the reaction bit at the end. But whenever you want to come on, mate, you're welcome on this channel. You know that, mate. How many points do you think we need for automatic promotion?
Oh, I knew there'd be one, and I knew it'd be Colin. Hang on. I think we certainly need another 8 wins, maybe between 6 and 8 wins. So you're talking what between 18 and 24 points.
Yeah.
You have to bear in mind. Listen, and now there's this mentality that games in hand mean nothing. But I definitely think that certainly by maybe the second or third week in April, this league will look a lot more apparent to us. And I think by then, I think we'll be in a much better position to know where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been working on the fly here. 67 points off 36 games. We got one game in hand over Peterborough. If we win that puts us second above them. And we got 2 games in hand over Hull. And if we win both of those, that puts us 3 points clear of Hull.
Yeah.
So somewhere between like 6-7 wins or 20-21 points. That'll do us.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no. I think I totally agree.
It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that sitting here being an armchair fan. Right? But the reality is we just need points on the board,
Yeah.
Unbeaten in the last, 11, I think it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Ethan Dixon, even lads, so I'm just finished training. It's, all these younger people are doing stuff, keeping fit.
Only because it's sunny outside. I bet they wouldn't be doing it if it was chucking down a rain. They've all been here from the start.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some people asking questions about like current situations. We're going to get onto the current situation at Sunderland very soon. But I do want to move on to the next question of what are the best and worst managers Sunderland have had? You can either see it like in all time or in your sort of time being a Sunderland
fan. Let me tell you, Paul. As you know, I love a bit of homework. Right? I like to be organised. Right. I just think that we've got so many choices for bad managers, right? Literally for bad managers, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we'll start at the bottom. No, we'll not start at the bottom. I'll tell lies, right? So, people said Parkinson was a bad manager, right? And immediately, when you asked me that question, he was the first name that I wrote down. But actually, looking at his win rate, right? His win rate is 35%. So 35% of the games he was in charge for, he won. That's not even draws. That's just wins.
Right.
But then you look at the like everybody saw Di Canio, great bloke, 23%. Right?
Yeah.
Dick Advocaat, okay, don't get me wrong, fantastic job, saved us, tears on the pitch and all sorts. Right? 21% win rate.
Yeah.
Right? Ricky Sabragia, if anybody even remembers him. Right? 23% win rate. Right?
Yeah.
Double agent Steve Bruce, who looks like he's going to get Newcastle relegated this season. Sorry, I tried so hard not to mention that, but it was just too fucking easy.
Had to be done, mate.
29% win rate. Right?
Yeah.
I just want to mention a couple of other one other name really. Gus Poyet.
Right? Yeah.
When the what was hitting the where, right? Everybody said we'll replace. This is way back when, right? Let's get rid of Parkinson, right? Let's get rid of Parkinson. Replace him with somebody like Poyet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Poyet's win rate was only 30%.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
See what I mean? So really not that great. So then you've got, we've mentioned, so the top of the pile, right? We'll go with worst. So I'm going to go with my worst with a 16% win rate, right? Literally the wettest of wet blankets.
Yeah.
Right? It amazes me that he's got back into football. It really does. Simon Grayson.
And
I think the reason that Chris Coleman didn't perform, right, wasn't because of Chris Coleman. It was the shite that he was left by Grayson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And listen, don't get me wrong. At the end of that season, Ellis Short did everything backside forward, sacked Coleman first, and then announced the club had been taken over.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still putting Grayson at the bottom of it, despite what we know about Phil Parkinson, right? Phil Parkinson, like, literally couldn't change a game to save his life, right?
Yeah.
Literally couldn't change a game to save his life. And, you know, we say it week in, week out on the Saturday afternoon, Parkinson this, Parkinson that. We're amazed that Lee Johnson changes things so early, right? We've never been so lucky in all our life, right? Literally never been so lucky in all our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Parkinson, I still think that Grayson was a million times worse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he might come good though, because Fleetwood play Peterborough on Good Friday.
Yeah.
So we can live in hope.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So are you saying that Lee Johnson is the best?
No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm going to do this whole win rate thing again.
Right, no, go for it.
Right, because technically it's Jack Ross.
Jack Ross is the best manager we've had.
In terms of, hang on. No, I didn't say technically. What I said was Jack Ross is the best manager by win rate.
Really?
Just over 50%. Right? You got to bear in mind he was the 1-1 draw specialist. He only lost 10 games in the whole time he was here.
Oh, so that's including draws, not that.
No, that's just wins. 50% of the games he won.
Wow.
Right? And then draws and lost 10. Right? It's not him. It's not him.
No, it can't be.
And then you look at Roy Keane. Right? Roy Keane won the championship or Division 1 or whatever it was called then. So the first division, not the Premier League, when we got relegated back up again.
Yeah.
Won the 2006-2007 Football League champions, right? 42% win rate. Mick McCarthy, 43% win rate. Got us promoted 2002, 2004, 2005 season. We got promoted after that season. It's not him. I'm going to go with Peter Reid.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going to go with Peter Reid, you see so much stuff about him, right? About his manner, the way he was in the dressing room, not frightened to ball somebody out, F and Jeff at them, try and build them up, you know?
Yeah.
It was just a shame for me that I really started watching him at the back end of that season where they stayed up and then he got sacked within 3 months of the next, or 2 months of the next season starting. And now he was replaced by Howard Wilkinson and Steve Cotterill. You know I mean, you think, oh, sick.
Oh no! For me, there's nothing worse than having a manager that is like Simon Grayson, Howard Wilkinson, Parkinson. They're all just so boring. They couldn't inspire. I think somebody said they couldn't inspire milk to curdle. I think that's a good description of them. And like, if I was a player and we were, you know, struggling at half time, we needed to kick up the arse or some motivation. None of them managers are going to do it, are they? I mean,
could you imagine being stood next to him at a party, or going to some business thing, and you know the bloke next to you goes, "Hi mate, my name's Phil Parkinson. Right, see you later, bye."
Oh no, you're not going to pull, are you? Put it that way.
No, absolutely not. Although I have to say that I'm in the position where I don't need to pull. I wake up every single morning punching with Joanne. So listen, Phil Parkinson.
Hang on. You wake up every morning with Joanne punching. Is that what you said?
Sorry, Joanne. That came out all wrong. You shit.
Yeah, no, that's a nice thing to say, mate. No, I totally agree. I'm a lucky lad as well. Very lucky.
Honestly, she lets me get away. She lets me get away with blue murder. Does not Joanne punching. My Joe lets me get away with blue murder. Literally blue murder. I mean, Christ Almighty, I come on twice, sometimes 3 times a week. You know what I mean? That's without all the other crap that I do. You know?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think they're both. A lot of people would agree with them, to be honest with you. We'll move on to question number 7. That's on the list here. Is there any sports or other teams that you have a soft spot for? Keep an eye on things like that.
I am a massive fan of rugby league.
All right.
Only something I got into in about the last 5 years or so. My Joe, not Joanne punching from here, but my Joe is from Leeds. talks with a funny voice and all sorts. I'm really sorry to anybody from West Yorkshire. I might have just offended there, but slack jaw. No, sorry, I didn't mean that. There's one day I won't even feel the pain, right? Where I take the mick out what you say, and literally she'll just sideswipe me with the iron, and I'll not even know it's happened. Right?
Yeah, like something at Home Alone.
Yeah, right. But so her family, her sister and brother-in-law are both season ticket holders at Castleford Tigers Rugby League. And we were there one weekend, and brother-in-law said, "Do you fancy coming to watch Cast Tigers?" Twisted on a bit. Said, aye, I'll come watch them. And literally from about 5 minutes into the game, the whole experience, the watching the team, the won, and I've been glued ever since. Ever since. In fact, so much so that I actually pay me subscription to Sky for the rugby league and not the football. I like a bit of cricket. You know, I used to play cricket when I was younger. And okay, it's nice that the cricket's on. I play golf, but the only real other affiliation that I have is Castleford Tigers Rugby League. Yeah.
Now, well, that answers one of the questions as well, because Gary, one of the lads on our team, hey Paul, I only have one question for him. Why in God's name does he support Castleford Tigers? That's why. Yeah, but it's nice to have something else, because I think if we're just Sunderland supporters, it would be a depressing existence.
Well, let me tell you, sometimes supporting Cast is a bit of a dreary existence and all.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sunderland just conditioned me to it. That's all. Just conditioned. You know.
Yeah. Practice. Got you prepared.
Just helps you keep your feet on the ground. You know, it really does.
Yeah. I think most people are aware my favourite sport. I mean, it wipes the floor of football for me is Formula One. Always has been. Watch it since the 80s.
I've never really got it.
No, that's fair enough. A lot of people don't. I think when I try to describe why I love it, like I watched it since the 80s, and for me, it becomes a little bit like the drivers become like characters in like a movie, and you want to see what happens next, how they're going to react to this, and like the sport itself, it's one of the few sports where, you know, your life's on the line every time you get in it. It's exciting. You know, I just absolutely love it. But I know it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Do you think? And I'm not really trying to put you on the spot after being on the spot myself for 58 minutes. But do you think that there's the same characters in Formula One that there used to be?
Yes.
Would you put like I didn't really know Formula One, but like Nigel Mansell, Ayrton Senna, Nelson Piquet. Would you put them in the same bracket as? Would you put the likes of Lando Norris, Verstappen, and would you put them in the same bracket as the likes of them? It's
a really good question, actually, and I think anybody that's a big fan of Formula One would probably agree that yes, it's easy to see, like, it's all a generational thing. Like, obviously for me, Mansell and Senna were the best. Like, you know, when Mansell stopped and let him get on the car, so lovely moments, absolutely fantastic. But I think I see them on Twitter, young lads, absolutely massive fans of Lando Norris, absolutely love him. You know what I mean? They've got him as a profile picture, and if somebody asks them that question in 20, 30 years time, they'll say that was the best that they had. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get better. But I because I'm such a big fan, I just follow it that much that I get excited. I love all the characters. Just some of them are amazing. But anyway, we'll not talk about Formula One because I'll be banging on about that for ages.
Absolutely.
Right, we'll have a quick check in the chat, see if anything's happening. We've got Thean's had to go. Thanks for popping in anyway, mate. Honey 95, Howard Wilson, definitely. I'm not going to say the rest, but Graeme, you love the cricket. Laugh.
I do.
Tommy Stoko, the best. Macam enemy, the worst.
Enemy, the worst. Tommy there is just showing his age.
He must be about 70. He's 70 years old. Got to be.
Not maybe 70, but not far off. 55 maybe.
Yeah, fair enough. Keisha, I've started watching Formula One again. Good, lass. Enjoy it. Right, we'll crack on with the next question because we are hitting the hour mark already.
The hour mark? Sorry, everybody. I know you thought this was going to be brief.
Don't apologise as people here watching it. So obviously, I'm enjoying it anyway. I don't care if anybody's watching.
Nobody likes it. We're having a crack on anyway.
Yeah, I've got my Guinness. I've got you. That's all that matters.
Oh, bless.
Right, we've got the next one then. Question number 8. How do you rate? Right, this is coming on to current affairs.
Yeah.
How do you rate Sunderland's season so far? I asked this question obviously earlier on with other guests, and I've had obviously bad reactions to it, but I think things have improved since then.
I think since episode 15, I get away quite lightly and say that, and I don't want to sound cliched, but it really has been a season so far of 2 massive halves.
Yeah.
So we had the massive lows of Parkinson, and the whole shite with Stuart Donald and Salmon Pants Methven and everything else, right? Where the club literally was on shit street, and it were like beyond depressing.
Yeah.
Parkinson run out the same shitty excuses every week for why we didn't win. Well, I thought we played the ball well at times. Okay, that may well be the case, but when you're leaving your first substitution until like the 81st minute and giving nobody a chance to change anything, and like having sometimes honestly it felt like you didn't have a plan A. You had this group of guys together and just went, right, there's the team, there you go, do your best. It just felt like there was nothing behind it. So from then have a plan B, like didn't make any sense, and then Johnson was appointed turn of the year ish, and stuff started looking up, and of course there was all this talk of new investment being in the club, new owners, who was it going to be? Was it going to be the Americans? Was it going to be that fellow with the beard who peddled that energy drink?
Yeah,
I'm so bloody pleased it wasn't him. And I know there's some people out there who really thought that he was going to be the man to save Sunderland Football Club. Honestly, give your heads a wobble, right? Because it weren't going to be him, right? Literally no chance. And I know there's other people who think otherwise. Listen, you're entitled to your opinion, but if I were going to agree with you, I'd be wrong. We'd both be wrong, right? So Louis Dreyfus comes in. What better birthday present can I get than for it to be announced on the 18th of February that the new owner was Kirill Louis Dreyfus, right? And then there's just been this, I mean, even before his actual arrival, because, Johnson came before he did, and like this upward trajectory of, there's an expectation now that Sunderland are going to be winning games, right?
Yeah.
We might not always play pretty football, right? There's 2 games a week, and listen, I get the professional footballers, and they should be up for 2 games a week, but we are where we are. Sometimes it's a bit hitty missy, and sometimes just a win's a win, right? The fact that we're not getting beat, and the fact that we're not conceding a load of goals, and the fact that we're scoring. I'm sick of running this stat out every fucking week or every game. 22 games now we've scored a goal in. The last 22 games, Sunderland have scored a goal. So if you're scoring goals, the chances is you're not going to get beat, and at worst, you're going to draw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So long story short, season of 2 halves, and I still say that we'll go up at the end of the season as automatically promoted.
Oh, I hope so, mate. I really do. So if you were to condense that into an out of 10, I know it's not easy.
All of that for an out of 10.
No, I'm just out of interest, because I think that does give it a bit more clarity. Out of 10, what would you give our season so far?
I think only because of the influence of Lee Johnson and the players he's brought in and the mentality he's brought and everything else. So far, I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Good. Yeah, fair point. I was going to say 8, but yeah, 8.5 is good.
8.5. And you know what? We brought silverware. I didn't even mention the AFL trophy or the pizza cup or whatever people want to call it. Right? I didn't even mention that. Right? We've won some silverware. People can say what the fuck they want. Sorry. People can say whatever they want.
Sorry.
Right? People say whatever they want. Right? It might be a pizza trophy. Just remember the actual title of the trophy is the AFL trophy. Right? 2 years ago we went to play it, right, and everybody was up in arms because we were going to win the Checker Trade Trophy.
Yeah.
Right? And had the football season gone ahead last year, right, the Salford versus Portsmouth game was the leasing.com trophy. It just so happens that a different organisations put some money into it, right?
Yeah.
Who it is? It's the AFL trophy, and it's silverware at my club.
If it was called the Vaux Brewery,
the Vaux Brewery's Cup, right? Nobody would have given a shit at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was the Papa John's trophy, the pizza cup, do you want stuffed crust for that? Give out, man. It
could have been worse, couldn't it? We could have had the tampon cup, or it could have been loads of things.
Exactly. Absolutely cracker.
Right. Well, that's it. We're going on to the second from last question. I want to discuss the next game, Oxford. Away. What are you thinking there? I want a prediction. I want to know what you think. How, what sort of lineup you want to play? You don't have to go into massive detail, but what are you thinking about that one?
I don't honestly think we should change that much in terms of the team. I like to have I try to pick around the same kind of squad as and I think anybody fit is good. I think the only debate is, and I don't think he's fit for this week, but it's going to be a conversation we'll be having sometime. What do you do with Luke 09? What do you do with Luke 09 when Bailey Wright's fit?
Oh,
you see what I mean? That conversation can happen at some point.
It's a good diamond limit to have, isn't it?
Oh, listen, it's lovely. It's a lovely diamond limit to have. But I always think because you can't really drop Sanderson. And don't get me wrong, Sanderson hasn't been brilliant all the time. He's been very good, good footballer, reads the game really well, but he's not without making mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. But I still think my back two would go around something like Sanderson and Wright.
Yeah.
Now, how long have they had together? This is the other thing, right?
No.
But if you would you then move your midfield around so that Ledbetter doesn't get a start? So you then play in some form Scowen, Winchester, 09.
Yeah, and then what you doing? Are you dropping Power, or is he right back?
Yeah, exactly. Where does Max Power go then? But then, having said that, is Denver Hume back?
Yeah,
because Power would still play if Denver Hume wasn't playing.
We've got so much strength at the minute in so many nice problems for the manager to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, as I say, we've still got Jordan Jones to come back in.
Aye.
So listen, teams probably I get slated. Matthew and Dan generally kind of slag my little team off, although I'll write it all down and whatnot before they. No, you've got that formation all wrong. This is how they're playing instead.
Yeah.
Okay, can't have it right all the time. But Oxford Friday, last 5 games have won 2 and lost 3.
Right.
So, and they're currently 8th in the league. Played 37, won 16, drawn 8, lost 13.
So you're saying the last 3 they've actually lost? Is that right?
No. So it's been win, loss, win, loss.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Very inconsistent.
Win, loss, win, loss.
So just they're very inconsistent by the sound of it.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Listen, I'm one of these. I'm one of these eternal optimists. I'd never go against my own team. Yeah. And obviously, I'm going to go for Sunderland win. We need it. We need a Sunderland win, right? And I think the only thing for me is it was very evident when it was very evident to me when Ross Stewart came on and scored that goal when he came on as a sub that we really benefit from having the height up front.
Yeah.
So is it time, especially if Jordan Jones is fit, to have McGeady and Jones or McGeady and Gooch playing a lot of wide, play the ball wide, crossing the ball in. You remember like how we used to do with like Summerby and Quinn and Phillips and whatnot playing the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, it's just come up on the screen. We need to put plenty of crosses in over Easter. I see you joke there, but there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
There is a lot of play, wide ball play. Get it on the red.
Oh yeah. Well, that's when we played at our best, wasn't it? We had Quinn and Phillips, Summerby and Johnson. Johnson. What I mean, that was just perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect game lineup.
Worked well. But we'll see. But I'm for my prediction, I'm gonna go. I never bet against my own team.
No.
And I'm gonna say it's been used a lot in these, and it's Dan's favourite prediction. But I'm going to go for 2-0 to us.
Nice. I'll take that. I'll snap your hands off of that right now.
Yeah, me too. I'd snap your own hands off.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I haven't actually really thought about it, but I think I'm going to go for 3-1 win. I think.
Do you think we're going to concede?
Yeah, I think we will concede. I think
where we're going to concede from? We've just talked about centre backs.
I know, but I still think they're not like 09 is doing a fantastic job. Don't get us wrong, but he's not a centre back. I still think I'm not saying he's a weak. I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not saying he's a weak link by any means because he's not.
Yeah.
But I'm still not convinced if McFadden's back there. He's better going forward. He should just be a winger, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I still think out of midfield's not the best, but I still think that's our weakest.
I know this sounds a bit out there, and I don't know whether I've got my sides all mixed up, but I don't think I have. Would you play McFadden potentially instead of somebody like Gooch?
Instead of
So as a wing back kind of.
Well, McFadden plays left.
Going forward. Sorry, I knew I had it mixed up. So forget what I said.
Yeah, I think Gooch is mainly right, isn't he? I think.
In fact, just flip that on its head. Denver Hume at left back.
Yeah.
Right. McFadden in front of him in a wing back and play McGeady on the other side. Because McGeady can play either side.
Yeah.
As he frequently does when he's playing with Jordan Jones and others. They're doing the game. Maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe I've been talking for too long.
No, it's not a bad idea because he's not bad going forward. I don't think anyway.
Yeah, it's just the defending where he's fucking horrendous at times.
Yeah, he forgets to do it basically.
Yeah.
Hanny 95 been subscribed for 3 weeks and love it. Excellent, thank you, mate. Acacia, hopefully Ross Stewart can be fully fit for the Oxford game on Friday. Yeah, I'd love to see him. Even if it's, to be honest with you, I'd be tempted to give him a full, even start, maybe. I don't know. I definitely want to see more of it.
But you've got to start with White.
Yeah.
You've got to start with White. And if you're going to start with White and you want Ross Stewart to start
with them,
then you've got to be playing two genuine up front, not like O'Brien where he hangs off it. Yeah,
I think if you had Wyke, Ross Stewart up front, you had Jones if he was fit, and McGeady behind them. I mean, them 4 alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fantastic. Forget about the rest. Yeah. That's a fantastic attacking force there.
And then if the Stewart thing doesn't work, you've then got the likes of Maguire, O'Brien on the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
That you can change it up for.
Yeah, no. I think it's worth doing, but I don't get paid to pick the team, unfortunately.
No, me either. I see there's some brotherly love in the chat because your brother Colin's gone Sunderland 3, Oxford 1 as well.
Yeah.
Colin asked you the same question. Where's their goal coming from? Sorry.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know. I don't really know a great. I don't know much about any other team, to be honest with you.
I gotta say, I don't either.
Yeah, definitely. But let's move on. Let's have a little look here in the chat. Ayrton Senna, best Formula One. Tommy knows his stuff. John Pemberton, what's he put here? Cracking days with Quinn and Phillips and Dicchio and Bridges.
Yeah.
In reserve. Hopefully back to those. I tell you, all Sunderland fans want is just to be. Well, all we're focusing on at the minute is just to get back in the Championship. That's the first hurdle.
The one thing I don't want Sunderland fans to be, and I know I'm going to get pelters for this at some point, right? But the one thing I don't want Sunderland fans to be is to be like Liverpool fans, where they're always living in the past, right? So this whole thing about bring Kevin Phillips back to the club.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Kevin Phillips as a legend, like the rest of us do, right? But the fact that they wanted to bring him back with Nigel Pearson, etc., and then what happens if the team gets humped week in, week out?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then it becomes your vision of Kevin Phillips isn't what it was.
Yeah.
You know, so for me,
especially like what you're saying when they were calling for him to come back while Stuart Donald was still in charge.
And
you know what I mean?
The other thing, I mean, imagine if it had gone well for him. Right?
Yeah.
You're then in the Championship with no fucking money.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Yeah, exactly. Could go bad. I think a lot of the fans that were around and watched those days would never turn on Phillips, but a lot of the younger generation that never really seen him,
they probably wouldn't stand
for it with this.
It just bad taste in the mouth kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Right, have got a couple more things, but I do want to quickly, if possible, go through a few questions that were sent in by people because I did ask them.
This is the bit where I get done over. I can talk quite nicely for 75 minutes, but then it's the questions. I'm waiting for the one probably from Dan Humphrey. But he's doing as a blinder.
No. I'll tell you what, give him a slap on the wrist because he should have. I don't know what this one's from Ben Carr, who's a new addition, a new member of the team. Now I don't know if there's been anything discussed about this or rumored about it or whether he's just in general asking the question. But he said, what does he think about the change of a club crest? As for us, it's the lowest we've ever been as a club. A new badge to signify a new start for the club. Now,
what would he change it to?
Well, that's the thing. I think
I know what's coming here, right? I know what's coming here, and I'm thinking ship's crest, etc. You know, you remember the old club logo?
Oh yeah.
You know, with the ship and the red and white stripes underneath it.
Yeah.
See, you can't see this is below the line of the camera, but yeah. So there was the club badge where it had there was the ship were black, white cut out, blue cut out, and then red and white stripes down to the bottom of the crest. And that's what he's thinking about. Pretty much like that. Yeah. But, like, what would he change it to?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know who designed the last one, but I remember when the current one came out. I thought it looks modern, it looks cool. And to be honest with you, I'm still a massive fan of it, and it's new. It's still quite new to me, really. So personally, I wouldn't want to change it, but I think he's obviously asking what you think. Would you want to change it? Or?
I can't. Kind of ambivalent, if I'm honest. Not really that fussed.
That's fair enough.
Keep it as is. Keep it as is.
Yeah, Ben Carr's a young lad. You know, he probably wants. I don't know. He hasn't actually said that he wants
the world.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. He hasn't said that he wants to change. I think he's just wanting your opinion. But I don't know. I've never heard that being rumored to happen. I
think I saw one of the Sunderland podcast groups mention it. Maybe Wise Men Say. I think I saw that on Twitter today. I might have that wrong, but I do like that retro logo. But I don't see the reason to change it. I get why they want that retro logo because maybe it's because they've just had that whole Sunderland. Did you see that promo advert that came out for the season tickets for this year? Sunderland Together.
Oh yes,
and it talked about the club's history and all that. And I just wonder because it goes back to the old shipbuilding thing, whether there was some consideration for that, maybe.
Well, during them times, Sunderland had some really bad times as well. Do you know what I mean?
Again, agreed.
So, you know, I think you just have to crack on. The most important thing is the team on the pitch and how they perform.
Absolutely.
We've got one here from AJJ. He originally asked, he originally asked for players, but then we changed it because I don't know anything about. Do you know much about other teams' players?
Not really, apart from
he was basically wanting to know 5 players you'd bring in, 5 players you'd let go. But
I'd say if I'd had that as a homework question, I'd have probably been able to do a bit of homework around it.
Yeah, so basically we've changed the question. Yeah, and we said if there was 3 people from the south that you could move to the north, and 3 people, famous people, can be anybody from the north down to the south, who would it be? So I know it's still quite a lot here.
Did you see the look on my face there?
Would you want basically? Let's go through a few. Would you like Anton Deck up in the northeast, or would you like?
Honestly, I could not give 2 shits. Just a little background to this, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, people know that I work on trains. I love my job to bits. We see quite a reasonable amount of celebrity.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, some of them I wouldn't have been able to work out was them unless they hit me in the face and went, "Hi, my name's Anton Deck" or whatever. I'm absolutely crap at it. There's only 2 celebrities I've ever, apart from Kevin Ball, but these celebrities, right, that I've ever recognized to myself, right? One of them, I only recognized her because of her voice. and that is because we live in a flat, and my man cave is right next to our living room, right? And normally this door that houses my uniform, right, is normally open, right? And the person I heard her talking on the train, and it was that Charlotte from Geordie Shore.
Never watched it.
Right, me either, but Joe watches it. So I recognise her, and the only other person, because one of the few television programs I actually used to watch was Gogglebox, and the only other person who I recognised was Scarlett Moffat.
I recognise her voice, yeah.
And apart from those, I don't, I wouldn't really know. There's a few celebrities who don't mind living in the same street as me, So every time they went past, I go morning, and then just stare as they kept walking,
Maybe
that kind of thing. But apart from that, like I didn't really do celebrity, right? Without sounding crude, everybody's shit smells the same, right?
Well, exactly.
And it just it don't bother me. So I'm really sorry, AJ, if I've dodged your question.
No, that's perfectly fine. I totally agree. I'm very much the same, like you just said there. The Queen has to wipe her own arse. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh well, I hope so. Anyway.
Oh, hang on a minute. Colin tells me that you've met Charlotte Crosby, the same Charlotte from Geordie Shore.
Well, I don't know if it's. I see. Basically, what he's saying there was, I don't even know if it is the same Charlotte, but basically, obviously, I work at an airport, so I see a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
And coming through was that guy from Essex, really thick, towy fella. What's his name, man?
You mean Joey Essex?
Joey Essex, that's the one. Yeah, him and some girl came through called Charlotte. I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
And they stood out to man. Even if I didn't recognize Joey, they bounced through the arch. Right, most people come through stressed out, just can't wait to get on the plane, get away, do whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They sort of floated and bounced through. They looked so happy, like they didn't have a care in the world. Like so light. And I was like, fucking hell. I obviously recognized him, and she came through and she activated the arch. She didn't have metal on it. It was just like a random that the machine had chose. It was her to be searched. So she's getting searched, and Joey Essex, he says to me, he goes, someone from the northeast is typical. Had to be somebody from the northeast. And I went, oi, stop that, mate. And he's like, oh, right, so you're from the northeast. And she looked over, she's got her arms out, like it's getting searched. And she went, are you from the northeast? I was like, yeah, I'm a Sunderland fan. She's like, oh, so am I. I was like, oh, excellent. That's whereabouts you're from. She went, Washington, which is my hometown as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, flipping heck. To this day, I still don't know whether she was Charlotte, she was famous, she was off some reality thing. But
I take that as being her.
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be.
I take that as being her.
It's got to be her. And then, anyway, she got searched, and then they both bounced off to wherever they were going. So, yeah. Yes, well, Alan, I do work at Stansted Airport. But, yeah, loads of celebrities, things. I might recognise the odd one just through, like you say, our last watching stuff. One time, believe it or not, I don't know if I should admit this, but I actually started getting into Made in Chelsea. So bad.
Wash your mouth out. Just one little just one tiny little celebrity thing, because I now know we're up to an hour and a half, and I still can't believe there's 30 people watching. Obviously, I said, I pick guys who follow me on Twitter. If you don't, Red Leader, Wright, wherever it is, there, follow me on Twitter. I'm sure it'll be an experience for you and all that. One Sunday came out of Newcastle, and there was a bloke sat in first class, right? And he had like a string vest on with like a gold medallion.
Yeah.
Right? Well, the first stop was Durham, and I had to be at the back of the train to safely open and shut the doors. So jokingly, as I walked through the kitchen, I went, "Have you seen that bloke sat in first class with a string vest on?" Right? And one of the catering people said, "See who the bloke with the string vest sat with?" I said, "No." So I kind of like has a bit of a dither, turn round, walks back through this coach I've just walked through, and literally me chins, plural, hit the floor. It were Paul Weller.
Flipping heck.
Right? And I was like, wow. Turns out the bloke in the string vest with the medallion was Steve White, who's the drummer for Motion Colour Scene. And
I recognise. Yeah.
They played at somewhere in Newcastle the night before for some charity thing.
Amazing.
So there you go.
I tell you what is amazing as well, Graeme. We've got people from America tuning in to watch you. Hello from the good old US of A. As an American, there is nothing I love more than hot dogs, Texas barbecue sauce, and Lady Liberty. Up until I saw Red Leader Wright smile with love heart. What a fine man you are, sir. There you go.
Unfortunately, my spectacles are in the car, and I would have offered you to borrow them. Can I just say, I love the United States of America as well. When this coronavirus crap is finished with, we are hoping very much to get out to America, even if it's just. I'm going to hold my hands. I've got a trip booked to New York for December, because I promised Joanne many years ago that we go to New York for Christmas. And the last time we went, it was the end of November, and not really a lot of the Christmas stuff was out. So I'm booked for the 6th of December to go back to New York to spend a week there with Joanne to take in the whole Christmas thing. But I'm hoping that potentially, it sounds like there's going to be some kind of travel corridor open between United Kingdom and the USA, and I can't bloody wait.
Honestly, mate, I tell you what, I've been to quite a few places and I love it. I actually had a holiday of a lifetime booked. Me and
never again.
Well, no, it was last October. California, we're going to Los Angeles, San Diego. I had a Ford Mustang booked. I was going to go to me favorite. One of my favorite movies is Jewel, which was filmed. It's a truck. Spielberg's first movie, basically. Truck driver chasing this guy in a car. I was going to go to all these locations, had it all planned, and then this bloody pandemic wiped that away. And to be honest, we've had a baby now. Most of that money that we had saved up for that is gone.
Paul,
so
me and you'll go one day.
Instead. We will. Honestly, do it.
I this coronavirus, right? I love a holiday, right? I absolutely love a holiday. It keeps me sane, right? Yeah. To be able to sit on the beach and do note for a while keeps me sane, right? We've had 5 holidays cancelled as a result of coronavirus. The first holiday we were meant to be going on was meant to be the end of April last year, and it was supposed to be Dubai for a week, Singapore for a week, and Bali for a week.
All right.
All cancelled, and it literally went downhill from there. And I'm literally itching to get on a plane somewhere on holiday. Literally itching. So I just hope we all behave ourselves and we're able to get somewhere. Yeah. I'm in the category where I don't think it's because of my age, but I got a text from the doctor saying that I was eligible for my coronavirus vaccine.
I know I've got it as well. I've got it.
Well, I think it's because I'm fat, if I'm honest. So I've had strike 1 or 2. I've got my second one on the 5th of June. You know, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get on holiday shortly.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
And just one other thing, just on one other thing on America. You missed the classic gag. I've never been to America, but I've been in a few states in my time. Sorry, we'll leave that where it
is. That's a dad joke. That's definitely a dad joke.
I'm showing my age. You one day.
Oh no, I'm not far behind you. I can't be. How old are you?
45.
I'm not far behind you, mate. In May, I'm 44, so I'm right behind you.
I tell you what, I have to say, you've aged better than I have.
Oh, it's because I've got this light on my face, so
yeah,
it makes us look good.
Don't worry, I've got one too.
John Pemberton, Chris McQuarrie lives down the road from me, and Phil Bardsley lived in the mansion in the village, and we have Bobby Kerr in our village. Cheers, John. So yeah, he's got lots of famous people around him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick go through some of these. America is awesome. Yeah, that's totally true. What we've got. Come and see me in Maryland. That's where he lives.
Maryland. He or she, because we don't know.
We don't know, yeah, he or she. Yeah. Fans React also, if I might add. Fans React, SAFC, sorry, Fans React. That blue hoodie looks really good on you, bro. You wear it well.
Available to purchase.
There is, yes. If you go to my Twitter account, there's a link there. There's probably links all over the place for that if you want to buy it. But to be honest with you, we created it just for the members if they wanted to buy them. But if you want to buy one, it's perfectly fine. And yes, don't forget that giveaway. That's coming very soon. Just subscribe to the channel. It's all I'm saying. subscribe to the channel because there's something coming up very soon that you're absolutely going to love. Anyway, I want to keep moving on.
Yeah.
We've been on quite a while now. I've got
We've
a couple more things.
90 minutes.
Yeah, a couple of things I need to go through quickly because the people have sent this question, so I want to go through them. Another one from Ben Carr. Ask Graeme tomorrow, if we get promoted realistically, would Wright and McGeady be able to do well, or should we be looking to heavily recruit players that are championship material to get the job done? So are they good enough?
That is a really good question. There's a lot of people who are saying things like, get Wright nailed down for another season. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one.
It is.
Really, really tough. Has McGeady got a season in the championship in him left?
I don't know. Well, he's got the skill, definitely, but we're seeing him in League One. It's like you see, it's hard to judge.
Exactly. That championship is a hard league to be in. Look at some of the teams that are in it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Premier League teams that have come down.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gone back up.
Yeah, if we get the championship, all we need to do is make sure that we stay in there. I'm not expecting to get like back-to-back promotions.
No, absolutely not. But see, the problem is you can't get it wrong. You literally cannot get it wrong, right? Because if we end up in the same position in 12 months where the likes of Wright aren't scoring goals, McGeady's getting found out, it was a yard too slow, whatever, and you end up back in the same position, what do you do then? Because it's like shit or bust. It really is like shit or bust.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So I'm really sorry, Ben, but I'm going to not decline to answer it, but I just think it's a massive, massive question and a massive ask.
No, really you need a crystal ball, don't you? To be honest with you,
absolutely.
So,
Chris thinks so, but
no, yeah, exactly. To be honest with you, McGeady would still terrorize, I think, defenders. But I'm not sure about Wright. You start thinking about it, and you start thinking there's too many.
You think maybe but then you think League One scores a lot of goals. Is it the same in Championship? Hard question. Hard question to answer.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But Chris Scott asked Graeme where he sees the club in 5 years' time and Lee Johnson. So do you think we'll have Lee Johnson, and where do you think we'll be in 5 years' time?
Do you know? I think the run from League One to Premier League is probably not as easy as people make it out to be. We've just mentioned the whole, getting to the Premier League. 5 years is maybe a realistic expectation. I don't really think the club knows enough about Louis Dreyfus yet.
Yeah.
And what his ability is. I just wonder whether, I would joke around with some people either yesterday or today that what you'll end up seeing is like Marseille reserves coming to play at Sunderland, because of the connection with Dreyfus and the family, etc.
Yeah.
So again, if we're not Premier League material in 5 years' time, then you would certainly imagine we'd be knocking on the door of the Championship. So it's like the playoff end of the Championship. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see us in the Premier League in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
I would, I'd give me right arm for it. Whether we're there in, whether we're there in 5 years remains to be seen. I'd like to think so.
It's another crystal ball moment, but
absolutely.
Colin Roberts, my brother, he thinks Wright won't be good enough for the Championship. Yeah, I can see what he's saying.
I can hear what I hear him. I absolutely hear him. Listen, as you know, Colin and I agree on a lot of stuff.
Are you sure you're not like you're not sort of like psychically connected with each other or something? You
never know. From another mother, maybe. We could all be related.
We could be. We probably are down the line if you go back to Adam and Eve anyway. Right, we've got one more question that came in. This one was from Jack Dodds. Where does the term red leader come from?
It's ever since I was about this big, right? My old man's called me red leader. You can't say because it's that little, right? My old man's called me red leader, right?
Yeah.
And so the conversation used to be, slap at a red leader, right? So my old man being the sapper and me being the red leader, and I've never really got it. But you know what it's like? Shit sticks. Like, even when I was growing up and going to the pub, I used to love going to the pub with my old man, right? And I used to finish work on a Friday when I first started working on the railway. I used to meet him in the bars opposite Newcastle Station, and it all started off where my old man would holler across the bar, "Oi, red leader, what do you want?" And then, of course, all me workmates found this out as well. So that's kind of where it started from.
Interesting. So it comes from the dad.
I think it's probably from a film somewhere, maybe. But I'm not. I don't really have the attention span for films unless they're comedies. So I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, it could be like a Top Gun thing or something. Ready? This is Breaker 5-5.
No,
coming out.
I've seen Top Gun about a million times. Definitely not in there. My favourite film's Hot Fuzz, so that tells you about my attention span. Right? Hot Fuzz, and one of my favourite films growing up was Big. Right? So, there you go. That's probably more of an insight than the rest of the 90.
It could have been worse. You could have said like Porkies or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Definitely.
So,
right, cool. Well, we'll go on to question number 10. Now, this is a new one.
I was waiting for this. I've been waiting on, and I've had a load of different thoughts of this. So I might just quick fire ask some questions of you.
Right, fair enough. Yeah. Well, the question was, do you want to ask me a question? Because
and it's not football related at all. None of this is football related at all. Not sport, not nothing. Right.
Okay, then go for it.
Crisps or chocolate?
That's easy. Crisps.
What kind?
I usually have them in a sandwich, to be honest with you. But
we've discussed this before about crisp sandwiches, and I should have remembered that.
Yeah. I do like beef Munster. I like a lot of beefy stuff. So I like beef Munster Munch. I like the steak, McCoy's steak. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Them in a sandwich, epic.
For me, Skips, Quavers, or flame grilled McCoy's. They do it for me. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Not massively into ice creams. If I was to have one, it would be. My girlfriend, she gets all these like posh ones with nuts in them and stuff. I quite like that, and they're not too bad. And I quite like just the ones that a kid, like a little whippy thing with some monkey's blood on. We used to call it monkey's blood.
Monkey's blood. There's a northern phrase if ever there was one. Monkey's blood. Love it.
Honestly, if I was to get an ice cream, I'd probably just get something like that.
And I've got one more question for you.
All right, mate.
Right. And it is, if you could be any animal in the world, on the planet, what animal would you be, and why would you be it?
I don't know. I quite, obviously you got the obvious, the lion, the king of the jungle.
Yeah, but why? Why would you be a lion?
Well, because they're
killing all the other animals.
They're just the boss of no one's gonna mess with you. You know what I mean? I know other lions. Yeah, other lions could get you. Yeah. But they are very cool looking. I don't know. I wouldn't mind being a cheetah as well. Very fast.
But to be fast.
Yeah, very fast, lean. I should probably see a bull. To be honest, I'm a Taurus. I'm very stubborn. So in real life, I would probably be a bull. I'm not aggressive, but I can be bad tempered. Can't
we all?
Yeah, exactly. So I think in real life I probably should be a bull, but if I could pick, a bit more fancy, like a lion or something.
A lion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I believe we have the answer, mate. John Pemberton, Red Leader is from Star Street.
Is it Star Trek? He means
probably Star Trek IV. That's 5, isn't it? 4. 1977. The year I was born. Yeah, so it could have been. I'll just make sure I haven't missed anything here. No, I think that's it. Right, one last thing, mate.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
I do know what's coming next. It's the hate league. Sorry, hate's a very strong word.
Yes, it's the fans react hate league table.
That's right, the hate league table.
Any player, any manager from
any. It was only manager.
No, any player, any manager from any era of any time, any team that you would like to go on the hate table.
Okay. I'm going to make this very easy. I misread this and thought it was manager.
All right. Right. Okay.
And I thought it was from now. Right.
All right.
I remember this from way back when, right? And I remember everybody saying Joey Barton, right? Because we all fucking hate Joey Barton, right? However, I thought to myself, I'm not going to pick Joey Barton because actually he's just doing his job, right? Winding teams up, etc. You know, being a shark, going around biting stuff, doing what sharks do, right? However, so then I thought to myself, it's got to be Steve Evans. I fucking hate Steve Evans, right? However, I'm really sorry to disappoint you, Paul, but I'm going with Joey Barton. What on earth is that bloke on? Like, and that fucking rant he went on about the Stonewall penalty.
I didn't even watch it.
One that borrow my glasses.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
so, Joey Barton for me, hands down.
Fair enough. Well, you did originally send me this guy.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, it's a close second, so I'm really sorry. I think the reason, in fact, have I written it in my notes? Hang on a minute. I haven't scrolled down far enough in my notes. I think that honestly, Grayson was part of the problem.
Yeah. Literally
part of the problem, not part of the answer.
Yeah.
However, listen, everybody has the fair right to change their mind. And
of course.
And Joey Barton, after that crap that he came out with in the weekend, it was like the poor man's Eric Cantona with the trawler coming in, you know, with the birds hanging over the trawler in the sea. What a word with yourself, man. You know, it's just no, it's not for me.
He's a
Joey
complete
Barton.
No, fair enough. Well, I'm going to show everybody the Hate League table, but this is going to have Simon Grayson on it. So,
okay, that's fine.
Number seven, just ignore that. That's going to get changed. Yeah. And Joey Barton, that's at the top of the list, is going to be on 9.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
I'm really sorry for screwing Paul's VT.
It's perfectly fine, mate. You didn't understand the question, so you've got it. You've got it now. That's fine. And to be honest with you, nobody can really complain with Joey Barton being on there. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
That was the longest 40 minutes of your life ever.
It wasn't actually. We've been on here like I say, 1 hour 42 minutes. We've been live, and it's for me. It's flew by. That means I've had a good time. I've had a good laugh.
That's good. I'm pleased to hear it, mate. It's been interesting. You know, it's been good.
Have you enjoyed it? Have you enjoyed it?
Well, I think I texted you this morning.
Yeah.
I texted you this morning saying that I was crapping it. Right. I posted on Twitter this morning. I still had 11 hours left to go, and I were crapping it. But you know what? It's been a giggle. I've had a good laugh with it. I really have had a good laugh with it. Good. Just one thing, if people haven't been doing it, because I know whether they've been checking Twitter or not, I'm offering somebody the opportunity. Somebody who's watched this live. So we'll cut this off at like, I don't know, 9:30 tonight, and say if anybody wants the tenner to watch Sunderland streaming, to watch the Oxford game as a stream on Friday, Bob SAFC fans react, a direct message on Twitter, and we'll randomly choose a winner tonight. So somebody can have a tenner to be able to watch the Sunderland versus Oxford game on Good Friday. Better than an Easter egg. Just like this channel, you can get it for free. Doesn't cost you a penny. All you've got to do is send Paul a DM at SAFC fans react.
There you go. Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, I've loved it. We've had, sorry, Ethan, just come on to the chat. Ethan, hello, everybody. But we are going, but
sorry,
go back.
You've just missed it.
Go back and watch it all. Watch it all.
Fantastic. Go watch it back. All 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Colin, superb evenings, entertaining. Love the show. Thank you very much. Hi, Ethan. I've clicked on the wrong one. EJJ, first class to both of you. Appreciate that. EJJ. And John Pemberton, who was well involved tonight. Great content. I'll keep up the good work. Great. That's it. So basically, I'm going to end it there. I want to say a big thanks to everybody that's been involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the first ever FanCast live stream. Like I say, it's episode 15, but it's the first one live, so it went really well. There's always been a fair few people watching, loads of people getting involved. So we'll probably stick with this format, to be honest with you. I'm going to try and get at least at least one a fortnight out, maybe one a week if I can. It just depends on how it goes. But whatever you do, all I can say is make sure you subscribe. There's going to be a video coming up very soon. Graeme will be shocked. Everybody's going to be shocked because there's a giveaway coming out, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Everybody's going to want to be involved. Unfortunately, Graeme won't be able to because he's one of the Fans React members. So Fans React members can't win the prize, but you really want to keep your eye out. It will be over the next couple of days. We'll announce a giveaway, and basically all you got to do is be subscribed and probably share the video. Be subscribed and share the video, and that'll be it. So it just keep your eye out for that.
I can just tell, Paul. I can just tell, right? And I don't know how many other people know. I got to be honest, I haven't got a clue what he's talking about, but I can tell by your face that it's massive. Whatever it is massive. Yeah, there's
I don't think people will be expecting this giveaway. So yeah, really, cool. It's really good, and little things, I'm not going to say it. We'll leave it at that. Anyway,
nearly got you.
We'll leave it at that. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Go over, check out Red Leader Wright on Twitter. He's on there all the time. I'll make sure his and a lot of the other members, their Twitter handles and they'll all be down in the description below, so you can check them out. And if you haven't sent us a message yet, let's see if I've got anybody sent us a message. Not one person wants a tenner yet. Not one person wants the tenner.
Well,
so you know what I mean.
Maybe it was the thought of having to watch Sunderland on Good Friday. Come on, it's better than an Easter egg.
Exactly. If nobody messages, we'll give it away on the quiz on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely, we'll do that.
Excellent. Well, thanks a lot, man. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks, Acacia. Thank you, Red Leader Wright, or Graeme Wright, as we all know him as. Really appreciate it. You guys take care. And for now, we'll see you later.